Hi friends, Mrs. D here with another story for you today. I hope you're all doing well. You may have listened to my story, Goldie Rocks and the Three Bears, and we talked about how it was probably very similar or like a story that you know called Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And when we were talking about different versions of these types of books, I mentioned that Somebody and the Three Blairs was a book that I just love. And so I thought I'd share it with you today. Let me go ahead and get my hat on, my story hat. And then we need his ear. And then I have somebody who wants to join us today for this story. Oh, there he is. Oh, where did he go? I think he's feeling a little shy. It's okay. Come on out, somebody. There he is. Isn't he cute? This is Somebody, just like Somebody and the Three Blairs by Marilyn Tolhurst, and the illustrations are by Simone Abel. So who do you think this is? That's Somebody. One Sunday morning, in a small house on the edge of town, Mr. Blair, Mrs. Blair, and Baby Blair were sitting down to breakfast. "It's such a fine morning," said Mr. Blair. "Let's take a walk in the park." "What a good idea," said Mrs. Blair. "Feed the ducks," said Baby Blair. So they took their coats and a bag of breadcrumbs and set out for the park. While they were gone, somebody came to the door. Somebody knocked, and when no one answered, somebody tiptoed in. He sniffed, and he sniffed, and he looked at the breakfast table. "This food is too dry," said somebody. "This food is too noisy," said somebody. "But this food is just right." He looked for somewhere to sit down. "This seat is too hard," said somebody. "This seat is too wobbly," said somebody. "But this seat is just right." He looked for something to play with. "This game is too noisy," said somebody. "This game is too cold," said somebody. "But this game is just right." Can you see what games he thought he was playing? With the cans, playing with food in the refrigerator. And here he's just got a bunch of baking things. He looked for something to drink. "This rain is too hot," said somebody. "This pond is too small," said somebody. "Silly somebody, That's not a pond. But this stream is just right. He looked for somewhere to sleep. He must be tired after all that exploring and playing. This bed is too big, said somebody. This bed is too small, said somebody. But this bed is just right. When Mr. and Mrs. Blair and Baby Blair came back from the park, they saw the breakfast table. What did they see? Do you think it looked like that when they left? I don't think so. I think somebody made a mess. Somebody's been eating my crunchies, said Mr. Blair. Somebody's been eating my Crispies, said Mrs. Blair. All gone, said Baby Blair. They looked around the room. Somebody's been sitting on my chairs, said Mr. Blair. Somebody's been sitting on my chairs, said Mrs. Blair. Busted, said Baby Blair. They went into the kitchen. Somebody's been emptying the cupboard, said Mr. Blair. Somebody's been raiding the fridge, said Mrs. Blair. Naughty, 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 said Baby Blair. They went upstairs. Can you see what's coming down the steps? What do you think? What do you think's happening? Flood, said Mr. Blair. Help, said Mrs. Blair. Lot of water, said Baby Blair. So where was that water from the steps coming? Somebody forgot to turn off the water. They looked in the bedroom. It's a burglar, said Mr. Blair. It's a monster, said Mrs. Blair. It's a big teddy bear, said Baby Blair. It's escaped from the zoo, said Mr. Blair. It's escaped from the circus, said Mrs. Blair. It's escaped around a drain pipe, said Baby Blair. Somebody phoned the police, said Mr. Blair. Somebody called the fire department, said Mrs. Blair. Somebody gone home, said Baby Blair. Bye-bye. Come back again and play tomorrow. There goes somebody. He escaped out the window and down the drain pipe. And that is a silly story of somebody and the Three Blairs. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye, friends.